I wake before the first hint of dawn, the air cool and crisp against my skin. The forest around me is a symphony of quiet rustles and distant bird calls, a familiar comfort. For days, I've been searching, walking these ancient paths, looking for a place that felt right. Not for me, this time, but for someone else. I found it yesterday, a small clearing by a winding stream, sheltered by a cluster of old, gnarled oaks. It felt like a secret, a forgotten corner of the world waiting to be brought to life. My hands ache already, not from work, but from the anticipation. I roll out of my sleeping bag, the soft nylon whispering against the leaves I've cleared for my camp. The first rays of sunlight begin to filter through the canopy, painting the forest floor in dappled gold. I can almost see it, the small, sturdy house, nestled here, a beacon of warmth and safety. A home for a woman who has known too much hardship, a place where she can finally rest. 7 days. That's all I have. It's a challenge, a race against time, but the thought of her smile, the peace in her eyes, fuels every fiber of my being. I start by clearing the ground, each fallen branch and stone carefully moved. The earth here is rich and dark, smelling of damp soil and decaying leaves. I use my shovel, the metal scraping against roots, a rhythmic, satisfying sound. I need a level base, a solid foundation for what will rise. I spend the morning digging, shaping, compacting the soil with a heavy log. My muscles begin to warm, the repetitive motion a meditation. I find a large, flat stone, perfect for the hearth, and drag it into place, the rough surface grating against the earth. This will be the heart of the home, a place for warmth and cooking. The next task is gathering materials. I walk deeper into the forest, my eyes scanning for fallen timber, for strong, straight branches. I find a stand of young bamboo, tall and resilient. With my hand saw, I begin to cut, each stroke a clean, sharp hiss. The hollow poles are surprisingly light, yet incredibly strong. I stack them carefully, the green stalks gleaming in the sunlight. I also find clay, rich and reddish-brown, near the stream bank. I dig it out with my hands, feeling the cool, smooth texture, imagining it forming the walls, holding the warmth. I carry it back in a canvas bag, the weight, a reassuring presence on my shoulder. By afternoon, the first uprights are in place. I've chosen 4 sturdy oak saplings, still rooted, to form the main corners. I trim them, using my axe, the sharp blade biting into the wood with a satisfying thwack. Then, I begin to lash the bamboo poles to them, creating the framework. I use strong, natural twine, wrapping it tightly, knotting it securely. Each knot is a promise, a commitment to stability. The structure begins to take shape, a skeletal outline against the green backdrop of the forest. I step back, wiping sweat from my brow, and a quiet sense of accomplishment settles over me. It's still just a frame, but it's there. Day 2 begins with the sound of the stream, a gentle murmur that will be the soundtrack to this build. Today, the roof. I need a strong, lightweight covering. I find large, broad leaves, almost like natural shingles, and begin to collect them, stacking them neatly. Back at the site, I weave a lattice of thinner bamboo poles across the top of the frame, creating a support structure. Then, I carefully layer the leaves, overlapping them, securing them with more twine. It's a slow, meticulous process, but I want it to be watertight, a true shelter. The sun beats down, but the shade of the trees keeps me cool. I can hear the rustle of the leaves as I work, a soft, papery sound. The walls are next. I mix the clay with straw and water, kneading it with my bare feet in a shallow pit. The mud squishes between my toes, cool and earthy. It's a primal feeling, connecting directly with the earth. I begin to apply the mixture to the bamboo frame, pressing it firmly, smoothing it with my hands. It's a slow, methodical process, building up the layers, letting each one dry slightly before adding the next. The walls grow thicker, more solid, transforming the open frame into an enclosed space. The smell of damp earth and straw fills the air. I work until dusk, my hands caked in clay, but a deep satisfaction radiating through me. On day 3, a challenge. A sudden downpour in the night has softened the clay walls, threatening to wash away my progress. I wake to the drumming of rain on my tarp, a frantic rhythm. I rush to the house, my heart sinking, but the roof holds, and the damage is minimal. I spend the morning patching, reinforcing, learning from the unexpected. I decide to add a layer of smooth river stones to the base of the walls, creating a natural barrier against future rain. Each stone is carefully selected, fitted into place, mortared with fresh clay. It's a small setback, but it makes the structure stronger, more resilient. I learn to work with the elements, not against them. The interior begins to take shape on day 4. I build a simple sleeping platform from smooth planed wood I found washed up further down the stream. The wood smells faintly of river, water, and sun. I sand it until it's soft to the touch, imagining the comfort it will bring. I also construct a small, sturdy table and a bench, using the same salvaged wood. Each joint is carefully cut, each piece fitted with precision. The sound of my plane shaving wood is a gentle, rhythmic whisper. I begin to feel the space transforming from a shell into a home. I even find some wild cotton, soft and fluffy, and begin to gather it, thinking of a simple mattress. Day 5 is for light and warmth. I carve out a small window opening, framing it with thin bamboo. I don't have glass, but I find a translucent resinous sap from a nearby tree, which I spread thinly over a woven bamboo screen. It will let in light, diffuse and soft, while keeping out the elements. For the hearth, I gather dry kindling and larger logs. I build a small, efficient fire pit inside, lining it with stones, and construct a simple chimney from hollowed-out logs, directing the smoke upwards through the roof. The first small fire I light inside sends a plume of white smoke into the sky, a signal of life, of warmth. The crackle of the flames is a comforting sound. The finishing touches occupy day 6. I smooth the clay walls one last time, adding a thin protective layer of natural resin I've boiled down from tree sap. It gives the walls a subtle sheen, making them more durable. I weave a simple door from bamboo and leaves, hanging it on sturdy leather hinges I fashioned from an old discarded belt I found. Inside, I lay down a mat of woven reeds on the sleeping platform. I gather wild herbs and flowers, arranging them in a small clay pot I made, placing it on the table. The scent of the forest fills the small room. I step back, looking at the finished interior, and a profound sense of peace washes over me. It's simple, but it's perfect. The morning of day 7. The house stands complete, a testament to quiet determination. The sun rises, casting long shadows, illuminating the small, cozy structure. I walk around it, touching the smooth clay walls, admiring the sturdy roof. It blends seamlessly with the forest, as if it has always been here. I light a small fire in the hearth, and the smoke curls gently from the chimney. I boil water for tea, the gentle hiss of the kettle, a soft sound in the quiet morning. I sit on the bench, sipping my tea, watching the sunlight filter through the window, and a deep, quiet joy fills me. Then, I hear it. A gentle rustle, a slow, careful tread. I stand, my heart beating a little faster. She emerges from the trees, a small elderly woman, her face etched with the lines of a life lived, her eyes wide with a mixture of hope and trepidation. She sees the house, and her steps falter. I walk towards her, a small, reassuring smile on my face. I don't need to say much. I simply gesture towards the house, inviting her in. She approaches slowly, her hand reaching out to touch the clay wall, her fingers tracing the smooth surface. Her eyes are filled with wonder, then with tears. I open the door for her, and she steps inside, her gaze sweeping over the simple, warm interior. She touches the table, the bench, the soft mat on the sleeping platform. She walks to the hearth, where the embers still glow, and holds her hands out, feeling the residual warmth. A soft sigh escapes her lips, a sound of profound relief. She turns to me, her eyes shining, and though she doesn't speak, her gratitude is palpable, a silent, powerful force. She simply nods, a slow, deliberate nod, and then a small, genuine smile spreads across her face, illuminating her features. It's a smile that speaks of peace, of belonging, of finally finding a place to call her own. In that moment, all the effort, all the aches, all the challenges of the past 7 days fade away. This is why I build, to see that quiet joy, to know I've helped create a sanctuary. I leave her there, in her new home, the firelight flickering softly through the window, a warm glow in the heart of the forest. My work here is done.